Good morning, Year 7, and welcome to today's maths lesson. Let's start off with a quick starter, shall we? Can you find 2/3 of 33 for me? Can you solve 3x plus 1 equals 10? Can you find 15% of 200? And then can you decrease 200 by 15%? Pause the video and have a go at these questions in your light blue book for me, please. Right, let's go through the answers. So to find 2/3 of 33, I'm going to start off by finding 1/3 by doing 33 divided by 3, which gives me what, Cassia? 11, lovely, thank you. But I want 2/3, so to find 2/3, I need to do 11 times 2, which gives me 22 altogether. For the second question, I asked you to solve 3x plus 1 equals 10. The first thing I'm going to do is subtract 1 from each side of my equation. That tells me that 3 lots of x is equal to 9. And then if I divide both sides of my equation by 3, I'm left with x is equal to what, Adam? X is equal to 3, thanks very much. I then asked you to find 15% of 200. Well, to find 10%, I just need to do 200 divided by 10. So that's a nice easy start. Then to find 5%, I can just do 20 divided by 2. Which gives me 10. And then if I add those together, that tells me that 15% is going to be equal to 30. And finally, I asked you to decrease 200 by 15%. We've already found out what 15% of 200 is, so all we had to do was 200, subtract our 30, which leaves me with 170. Right, let's head into today's lesson. Here's our lesson destination of today. We're going to be looking at quantities as a percentage of another quantity. For example, I've got some information about a group of children and I'm asked what percentage of the boys are left-handed. So what percentage of all the boys are left-handed? Start off with a quick recap of increasing and decreasing by a percentage. If I want to increase 300 by 15%, I've got my 300, that's 100%. I want to add on my 15%. So altogether I've got 115% now. To work out what this 15% is worth, I can say 10% is 300 divided by 10, which gives me 30. 5% is just dividing that by 2, which gives me 15. So 15% is just adding those two together, which will give me 45. So this 15% block that I've added on is worth 45 to me. So altogether I get 345. The other thing we were looking at was decreasing by a percentage. This time I've got my 100%. I'm taking away this 15%. So what I've got left is going to be 85%. We know this 15% is worth, from our previous slide, 45. So to decrease 300 by 15%, we do 300, subtract 45, which gives me what, Darcy? 255, splendid stuff. Right, Year 7, in your light blue books, please have a go at these questions. Pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes, start on question 1, and for question 3, where there's a positive, it means increase, and where there's a negative, it means decrease by that percentage. Pause the video and have a go at these questions in your light blue books now, please. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Quick multiple choice question for you. Can you decrease 180 by 40%? Pause the video and have a go at that now, please. Right, let's work it out. So I'm decreasing by 40%, so I need to take away 40%. Let's work out what 40% would be. Well, 10% is going to be 18. So 40% is going to be 4 times 18. 4 times 18 gives me what, Drew? Brilliant, 72. So my answer is B, 72, right? Wrong. Why is that wrong, Poppy? Exactly, that would just be finding 40% of 180, but that's not what we've been asked to do. We've been asked to decrease 180 by 40%. So we need to do 180, take away 72, which gives me 108. C was the correct answer. Okay, a quick recap of converting fractions to decimals and percentages. Now we said to convert a fraction to a decimal and a percentage, we need to make the denominator 100. For example, I've got 7 over 20. I want to turn that into a decimal and a percentage. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply top and bottom by what, Robert? 5, exactly. Why do I want to multiply top and bottom by 5? Because I want to get my denominator to be 100. 7 times 5 gives me 35. 35 out of 100 is 35%. Or we've got 35 100ths, which would give me 0.35. Over to you, Year 7. In your light blue books or on your mini whiteboards if you have one, can you convert these two into a decimal and a percentage for me? Pause the video and have a go at that now, please. Right, let's go through the answers. So for the first one, I want to make my denominator 100, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 4. "14 multiplied by 4 gives me what, Evie?" 56, thank you. So we're looking at 56%. Or 0.56. Remember, to go from a percentage to a decimal, we divide by 100. To go from a decimal to a percentage, we multiply by 100. The second one's a little bit trickier. We need an intermediary stage. We want to put it over 100. But I can't just multiply 40 by something to get 100. So my first step is going to be to divide top and bottom by 2. That's going to help me out, because that gives me 7 over 20, and now I can just multiply top and bottom by 5, which gives me 35 out of 100, 35%, or 0.35. Which you'll notice is the same as my turn that I did at the beginning of the slide. And that's because 7 over 20 and 14 over 40 are equivalent fractions. Okay, Year 7, please pause the video for 10 minutes, and in your light blue books, can you convert each of these fractions into a percentage for me? A, B, C, D and E are a little bit easier. F, G, H, I and J are a little bit trickier. Pause the video and have a go at that now, please. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. So how about if I'm given a number out of another number and I'm asked to express that as a percentage? I'm asked, what is 5 as a percentage of 20? What is 5 out of 20 as a percentage? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write this as a fraction. So 5 out of 20 means the same as 5/20ths. And we know how to convert that into a percentage because we've just practiced it. Multiplying top and bottom by 5 will leave me with 25 out of 100 or 25%. So convert to a fraction and then to a percentage. Mini whiteboards here, 7, 6 out of 20. Convert that to a percentage for me. Let's go through it. I've got 6 out of 20. Convert it to something out of 100. Multiply top and bottom by 5. Gives me 30 out of 100 or 30%. Let's do another one. 6 out of 25. Convert that to a percentage for me. Let's go through it. 6 out of 25. Top and bottom by 4. Leaves me with 24 out of 100, which is 24%. How about now? Let's go through it. 5 out of 25. Top and bottom by 4. Gives me 20 out of 100, which is 20%. So how about now? Ooh, this one's a bit trickier. We've got 6 out of 7. And this time we cannot go through our usual process of just multiplying top and bottom by the same number to get 100. So Edie, what are we going to do? Bus stop division, exactly. We're going to do a bus stop division. So I've got 6.000 divided by 7. Pause the video and work that out now for me, please. Right, let's go through it. 7s into 6 goes 0, remainder 6. How many 7s are there in 60 for me, Adam? 8, lovely, remainder 4. How many 7s in 40, Melissa? 5, lovely, remainder 5. How many 7s in 50 for me, Poppy? 7, remainder 1, etc., etc. So this gives me 85.7% to 1 decimal place. Okay, year 7, light blue books for me. Can you have a go at these questions? Pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes. Off you go. The ones where I've written bus stop division, guess what? You need to do some bus stop division. And these are the answers I was looking for. Please check your work and see how you did. Right, so we've done our key skills to convert something out of something else into a percentage. Now we're going to apply that to some AO2 style exam questions. So we need to start reading some words. To start us off, can you take these 3 questions and just convert them into something out of something so they look like the previous question? For example, the first one, I've got some information about a group of children. I'm asked what percentage of the boys are left-handed. Can you write that as a number out of another number for me? Pause the video for a few minutes and write those out as something out of something now. So this is what they are as written as something out of something. The first one, I've got 3 left-handed boys out of 15 boys. For the second one, Anil has scored 108 out of 160. And for the third one, I'm looking at 18 out of 72. Now pause the video, and in your light blue books, can you convert these into percentages for me? And here they are as a percentage. The first one was 20%, the second one was 67.5%, and the last one was 25%. I've written out some intermediary stages for you so you can see how you did. And that's the end of today's lesson. Please head over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket. Thanks for listening, Year 7, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.